Hey Sky Campers, we're talking about comparing and contrasting again today. Remember, compare means to tell all of the ways two things are alike, and contrast means to tell all of the ways two things are different. We're going to compare and contrast an owl to a butterfly. They do have a lot of things in common, but they also have things that make them different. So an owl is a bird and it also has feathers. A butterfly is an insect and it starts out as a caterpillar, but they both fly and they both have wings. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to fly and have wings? Here's a story about a boy named Icarus. This is an ancient Greek myth about Icarus and Daedalus. Once upon a time, a long time ago, there lived a talented artist. His name was Daedalus. He used his art to make buildings and temples. He was probably the finest architect of his time. King Minos invited Daedalus to the lovely island of Crete. The king wanted Daedalus to build a maze, a labyrinth, as a home for the king's beloved pet, the Minotaur. The Minotaur was a horrible monster with the head of a bull on a human body. The king loved that awful monster and wanted him to have a lovely home. Daedalus was a bit amazed at the king's choice of a pet, but a job was a job. Daedalus planned to make the maze a challenge so complicated that anyone who entered would be lost until rescued. That way the king would be happy, the monster would be contained, and the people would be safe. Daedalus had no doubt that he could design such a maze. He really was a fine architect. Daedalus brought his young son Icarus with him. He was sure the child would enjoy swimming and playing with the other children on the island. Both Daedalus and Icarus were happy they'd come, and King Minos was happy with his maze. It was peaceful and pleasant on the island. Daedalus was in no hurry to leave. One day, a group of Greek children sailed to the island. The next day they sailed safely away, taking with them the king's lovely daughter and leaving behind them one dead Minotaur. King Minos was beside himself with grief. He did not believe anyone could have entered the maze, escape alive without the help from someone, most probably the help from the man who had designed the maze in the first place. Actually, the children did have help, but not from Daedalus, but that's another myth. King Minos punished the innocent Daedalus by keeping Daedalus and his young son Icarus prisoners on the island of Crete. Daedalus tried to think of ways to escape. One day, Daedalus noticed birds flying overhead. It gave him an idea. Wings! He needed wings. Daedalus began to gather all of the bird feathers he could find. He glued them together with wax. When 2 pairs of wings were ready, he warned his young son not to fly too close to the sun or the wax would melt. Daedalus fastened the wings to their arms. They flapped their wings and took to the sky. They left the island of Crete far behind them. Water sparkled beneath them as far as they could see. The sky was blue, the breeze was brisk, more than enough to keep them in the air. It was glorious. Icarus flew higher and higher. He flew so high that before he knew what was happening, the sun had begun to melt the wax on his wings. Icarus felt himself falling. He flapped his arms faster and faster, but it was no use. Poor Icarus plunged into the water and drowned. Sadly, Daedalus continued alone. It's so sad what happened to Icarus. He didn't follow the directions of his dad to stay away from the sun. Are you like Icarus or are you different? Time for you to get your sidewalk chalk out and create a Venn diagram and compare Icarus to yourself. Be sure to list the ways that you're alike and also the ways that you're different. Have fun, and remember, compare means to tell all of the ways two things are alike, and contrast means to tell all of the ways two things are different. The resources used in this video are mrdawn.org and dreamstime.com.